Hey guys, it's Brandon, aka B.Rich Beauty, aka your beauty best friend, and a happy Wednesday, y'all. Kenya Moore says Mark Daly withdrew the divorce petition. Meghan and Harry opened up to Oprah, and Johnny Depp's ex-wife just got fired from Aquaman 2. We're going to talk about that and a lot more. You know what to do. Grab your tea, grab your beverage. Let go. Happy hump day, beauty besties. How's the week going? Ooh, that got a little in my mouth. A little bitter. Anyways, how's the week going so far? It's hump day. We're almost into the weekend. Ooh, chole. It's been a busy one, but it's a good kind of busy. I hope everyone is having a great week so far. But baby, let's just jump in and let's start with the state of Texas. The state of Texas Governor Greg Abbott said he is done with Rona and you should be too. This man has officially removed the mask mandate, meaning that you can no longer be punished if you go anywhere out in public not wearing your mask. Now, I'm assuming that, obviously he's removed the mask mandate, but if you still want to wear a mask, you could. But baby, it is no longer law. It is no longer required. Exactly. And he's also restoring all businesses to 100% capacity. Child, I don't know if it was the winter weather that happened in Texas and he got brain freeze or frostbite or something, and now his brain is defrosting. But I need to know, what signs is Greg Abbott referring to say that this entire state, all of Texas, is okay to reopen? And not only that, but here's where I know this is about to get real slippery slope-ish for us, is because now that he's done this, what other Republican states or what other states are going to think it is okay to reopen at 100% capacity as if there's still not a pandemic here? Like, there's a whole pandemic, y'all, right? A whole one. I got cut off. Guess who forgot to put their phone in Do Not Disturb before they started filming? And my friend who knows I'm filming FaceTime me anyways. What was I saying? Oh, yes. So also, I feel like Texas is like, we're about to upstage Florida and Atlanta. They've been living their best life, and so we're about to do them one better. Because you know what they say, things are bigger here in Texas, and the bigger the whatever, the closer you are to God. And that same mentality of running around fancy-free and mask-free and at 100% capacity is about to have y'all seeing y'all maker a lot sooner than you think, sugar. But here's my note. Because it's starting to transition to spring break here in Miami, and it's starting to get real busy. So, dear Texas, keep your own Rona in your own state and do not come here to Miami. Please and thank you. Sign a Floridian. Don't bring that here, because you know what? Let me run up on somebody from Texas now that they're 100% open. No, sir. Get away from me. This is my bubble. In fact, I'm going to talk to you with my back towards you, because I don't know. I can't trust you anymore. Your state is wide open. And not just like pockets of your state wide open. It's wide. Spread it low and bust it wide type of open. And it's so funny that even last weekend, for example, I met 3 people on the beach from Texas. Honey, I'm not having no personal conversations face-to-face with nobody from Texas if y'all are now traveling here. Stay home. Do not spread your Rona across these United States of America. Let's move on. Ooh, child, I need a sip. So I have a question for you all beauty besties as I do my eye cream today. Would you notice $100,000 charged to your corporate card? Yes or no? Now I'm going to tell you this. I would, because I have a corporate card, and I know by doing your expense report that after a certain dollar amount, you have to supply receipts for your corporate card for Amex, right? And that's just for Amex. I'm sure this is the same thing for any card that your company uses as your corporate card. You got to supply receipts for the charges that are on your statement. Now, granted, some people may not do their expense report. Some people may have assistants to do their expense report. But at the end of the day, somebody got to look at somebody's receipt in order to reconcile these charges. Now, I say all that to say is Ann Hebert, the Vice President of North America Division for Nike, has resigned after 25 years. Why do you ask? I'm so glad you asked. Anne, who works for Nike in the role of her VP, has been with the company for 25 years. Well, Anne has a 19-year-old son who decided to have the entrepreneur spirit, who decided to open up a tennis shoe resale business. You know, the kind that you literally buy, like it's limited edition shoes and then you resell them? Yeah, that kind of business. Well, there was a Bloomberg article that came out that acknowledged that this young man had this business, and in order to get in front of it, he wanted to leave his mother out of it. But it came to light that allegedly, as a part of his business and for him to get these shoes that were limited edition, he used his mother's corporate card and charged $100,000 to the corporate card. Excuse me? Yes, I had to move my bang out my face. This 19-year-old child, young man, because he's a young man, charged $100,000 on his mother's corporate card for his shoe reselling business. Now, here's my thing. Anne resigned because obviously she wants to make it known that she had nothing to do with this, but also it feels a little gray, so she decided to leave. Baby, let me tell you something. I ain't got no children, but I do know this for sure. If I had children and this was my 19-year-old child, y'all would have to call Child Protective Services on. No, actually you wouldn't, because he's a whole adult. So in that case, love don't live here anymore. That boy's things, his shoes, all 5,000 of them he's purchased, his personal belongings, his drawers, his everything will be on the front lawn and on the sidewalk. And I will pull a Bernadine from Waiting to Exhale and put a sign up that says everything $1, everything must go. And because you know what these reselling businesses, especially with him, he was using these bots in order to buy up everything. So this is the reason why when you try to go online to buy limited edition things, it's sold out in 5 minutes because his bots are buying everything so he can then resell them at like 100% upcharge. Let me find out he's the reason why I still can't get my hands on Ivy Park, Icy Park, and Desert Park, because you know she's going to come out with a Desert Park child. We're about to go in the summer, and if she doesn't, I said the idea first. But I'm just saying, let me find out that he is the reason why I can't get my hands on Ivy Park, because he's buying up things on his mama's corporate card. This woman quit her job because of her stupid son. Like, for real, sir? Her corporate card? Like, people weren't going to find this out? Like, it blows my mind. And like I said, what would y'all do? Because what I'm not going to have you do, 19-year-old, is kick me out of my 25-year-old career, my pension, my retirement, and everything else because you wanted to be selfish and use my corporate card to fund your own business. That's not how any of this works. That's not how this works at all. So Ann Hubert has stepped down. They're saying that she didn't give no discount codes, no insider trading. I'm sure they probably had to say that allegedly. But she didn't do anything to help him with his business. But he took it upon himself to charge $100,000 to her corporate card. Child, let's move on. So Matthew Knowles, Beyonce's papa, has announced that he is planning to exit the music industry within the next 2 years. Now, here's my question for y'all beauty besties. Did anybody know that Matthew Knowles was still in the music industry? I mean, I thought after Destiny's Child dissolved and Beyonce dropped him as her manager, I felt like he just kind of like faded out into the background and like had his illegitimate baby with the woman he cheated on Tina Knowles with, married her, did whatever, and is now like, raising a whole teenager. I did not know Matthew was still out here in these business streets trying to live his best Destiny's Child life and recreate magic. But apparently he is. And Matthew has announced that in the next 2 years, he is trying to leave the music industry. He wants to go into academia. Basically, he wants to teach like music business classes. And he also has a podcast where he wants to continue to interview people in the industry and across the industry from like Oprah Winfrey and Diddy, et cetera, et cetera. So you know what, Matthew? Good for you wanting to have a retirement plan. I honestly just did not know Matthew Knowles was still out in these streets trying to pull a Vincent Herbert and, help people out with a music career. I didn't know, but now we know. So beauty besties, we talked on Monday that after Sunday's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, which we know was filmed months ago, that in the episode we saw that Mark Daly had served Kenya and her lawyer with the petition for divorce. And it caught her off guard. And in the divorce petition that we saw that he was also asking for alimony. Well, Kenya is now trying to clear it up and saying that one, Mark withdrew the petition the very next day. So obviously that wasn't on camera. That's not what we saw. But after she got served, and I guess after they filmed that scene, he withdrew his petition for divorce, one. And two, that he never was asking for alimony, but that Kenya and her lawyer misinterpreted New York law. Misinterpreted New York law, huh? So I just have a few questions, because you know I only speak law and order SVU or criminal intent. How does her lawyer, who I'm sure she has on retainer, who I'm sure she's paying a lot of money for this divorce proceeding, misinterpreted something that's in his profession? Like, if you are a lawyer and you're specializing in handling her divorce, it makes me feel like you might also understand what divorce law looks like. Because we all know all lawyers aren't created equal, right? But I need to know how the person you're paying all this money to, Kenya, misinterpreted a petition for divorce and said that it was asking for something that was not in there. Sis, it sounds like you need to get your money back because you got the wrong person representing you. Because if this man can't understand New York law, then what else is he missing the boat on? Now, here's my other thing. Mark has withdrew his petition for divorce, but they still ain't together, y'all. Like, they're still living apart. And at this point, I think they've been separated longer than they've been married. And definitely, they've been separated longer than they actually ever lived together in the same household. Kenya, what's going on here, sis? Are you dragging this out for a storyline? Are you and Mark really trying to get back together? Are you just trying to be married on paper? Like, what is going on here? Are y'all trying to, hide some assets from, somebody else, a baby mama, allegedly? I don't know. But girl, you complaining, crying for the last 2 seasons that your marriage is so horrible, that your husband is not, aware of you, and he's not considerate, and, he doesn't see his daughter, and you don't have a village, and all this other stuff. And by the way, does Mark not have parents and or grandparents from Brooklyn to be able to go with for the summer? I digress. But you're crying all these things about this horrible marriage, but y'all still together. Listen, I don't know, but something feels a little funny here with this storyline and these stories that are coming out of Miss Kenya Nancy Drew Moore's mouth. That's her new name, by the way. Speaking of divorce, do y'all remember a couple months ago we talked about Johnny Depp and his ex-wife Amber Heard, who starred in Aquaman? Well, the entire drama around Johnny Depp a couple months ago was that, Johnny was abusive and that there was a petition signed asking for his removal from the Fantastic Beasts movies, and that, he was also, the alleged rumor was he was also trying to get his ex-wife Amber Heard fired from the original Aquaman with Warner Brothers, and that didn't happen, but it was lots of drama between him and Amber. Well, apparently, Amber actually just got fired from Aquaman 2. And get this, child, she didn't get fired because there was a whole petition circulating asking for her removal, because they're also claiming that the streets are claiming that Amber Heard herself is also a domestic abuser, and that they wanted the studios to quit glamorizing her if she had such deficiencies. But apparently, she got fired because Mama's gained too much weight. Now, word on the street is in her contract for Aquaman, she is supposed to be physically fit leading up to shooting, and they said that she arrived to start shooting this movie, and Mama has gained weight. She is out of shape, which is making it tough for her to do the stunts and acrobatic acts for this movie, and that they are basically saying if you can't fit into this plastic latex outfit and look your best with your red hair, looking like Ariel's cousin, honey, not the black Ariel, honey, but the white Ariel. If you couldn't fit into this outfit and do this role, then we're going to pull your contract and you're going to be terminated. And they fired her because of that. Now, this feels very 1920s old Hollywood, where there was a weight requirement, child. But I guess none of us are really watching these Aquaman movies to see somebody with an average body do average stunts. We're looking for Jason Momoa and every single muscle on his body to be popping out. Mama's going to play her role in this movie. She need to be snatched for the gods too. Well, she got fired, and the rumor is that Emilia Clarke, who starred in Game of Thrones as Daenerys Targaryen, is going to be her replacement. So they have not confirmed that Emilia Clarke is officially the replacement, but they have announced that Amber Heard has been fired, child. So we're going to stay tuned and see how this plays out. Aquaman 2 is supposed to launch in December of 2022. So let's see how this works itself out. Now, they have released a few trailers for Oprah's upcoming interview with Harry and Meghan this on March 7th, by the way, and has now been upgraded from a 1-hour special to a 2-hour special. And word on the street is there is no topic off limits. Oprah is asking Meghan about if she feels like she's being silenced by the Queen. Harry is talking about how they left because, he was afraid that history is going to repeat itself, with the way the paparazzi treated his mother, and that he said that, it was really tough for him and Meghan, but thankfully they made it through because they had each other. And, he said, I remember how hard it was for my mother raising 2 boys, because even though Diana was married, she was a single parent child because Charles was running up behind Camilla as she was laying it low and spreading it wide for him. So I can't wait for this interview in this 2-hour special. Now, apparently the tea is, honey, that Harry has been summoned to London immediately so that way he can begin to say his final farewells and his goodbyes to his grandfather. Because, Prince Philip is still in the hospital. He's been in the hospital for a couple of weeks now for being treated. And they say that he's responding to treatment, but, the man's 99. So he's had a long life. God, bless the man. And I'm not killing him off by any means, but they're basically saying that the palace is starting to prepare for a funeral. Families are beginning to travel to say their final goodbyes. And now they're asking Harry if they could postpone this Oprah interview. And all this is still alleged, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was some truth here, that they're asking if they could postpone this Oprah interview so that way this explosive interview does not eclipse Prince Philip in his health and possibly as he's preparing for his final days of life. Child. The royal family, it's above them now, honey. That's above their pay grade. It's in the hands of CBS and Oprah. And CBS and Oprah, y'all better give me my 2-hour special on March 7th, okay? All right, guys, I got to go. You know what to do. Subscribe to the channel if you like this video if you like, and leave me a comment. Most importantly, check those notifications and make sure they're turned on. Who loves you? I do. I will see you on Friday. Bye.